The book of Syrach, chapter 2. Son, naying to the service of God, stand thou in rightfulness and dread, and make ready thy soul to temptation. Verse 2. Bear down thine heart, and suffer, and bow down thine ear, and take the words of understanding, and haste thou not into the time of death. Verse 3. Suffer thou the sustainings of God, be thou joined to God, and abide thou, that thy life wex in the last time. Verse 4. Take thou all thing that is set to thee, and suffer thou in sorrow, and have thou patience in thy lowness. Verse 5. For why gold and silver is proved in fire, for so hath men worthy to be received been proved in the chimney of lowness. Verse 6. Believe thou to God, and he shall recover thee, and dress thou thy way, and hope thou into him. Keep thou his dread, and wex thou eld therein. Verse 7. Ye that dread the Lord, abide his mercy, and bow ye not away from him, lest ye fall down. Verse 8. Ye that dread the Lord, believe to him, and your meed shall not be avoided. Verse 9. Ye that dread the Lord, hope into him, and mercy shall come to you into delighting. Verse 10. Ye that dread the Lord, love him, and your heart shall be lightened. Verse 11. Sons, behold ye the nations of men, and wite ye, that no man hoped in the Lord, and was shent. Verse 12. None dwelled in his heights, and was forsaken, either who inwardly clept him, and he despised him that clept. Verse 13. For why God is piteous and merciful, and he shall forgive sins in the day of tribulation, and he is defender to all men that seek in him in truth. Verse 14. Woe to the man with double heart, and with cursed lips, and misdoing hands, and to a sinner entering into the land by two ways. Verse 15. Woe to them that ben dissolute of heart, that believe not to God, and therefore they shall not be defended of him. Verse 16. Woe to them that han lost patience, and that han forsake rightful ways, and han turned away into shrewd ways. Verse 17. And what shall they do, when the Lord shall begin to behold? Verse 18. They that dread the Lord shall not be unbelievable to his word, and they that love him shall keep his way. Verse 19. They that dread the Lord shall enquire those things that ben well pleasant to him, and they that love him shall be filled with his law. Verse 20. They that dread the Lord shall make ready her hearts, and shall hallow her souls in his sight. Verse 21. They that dread the Lord shall keep his commandments, and shall have patience till to the beholding of him. Verse 22. And shall say, if we do not penance, we shall fall into the hands of the Lord, and not into the hands of men. Verse 23. For by the greatness of him, so and his mercy is with him. So ends the book of Syrach, chapter 2.